Hey, before listening to this episode, I recommend checking out part 1. This episode will make a lot more sense.
Hooey. Okay, Devin, let's go right.
I'm with Gerry Leary, the 67-year-old blind coffee roaster from the last episode. And we're outside his Colorado home, walking towards his front door.
Well, come on into my mess.
Gerry isn't joking. Cardboard boxes are scattered everywhere. His living room looks like a garage. Shoes off?
Come on up.
Shoes off?
No. Oh, gosh, not here.
Devin, Gerry's guide dog, runs up to inspect my microphone. Hey, Devin. She wants to eat the microphone.
You can't eat the microphone. No. That's to talk to, not to eat.
Gerry brews up a cup of his own roasted coffee. On the ground, I see worn-out coffee dispensers and dusty pastry trays. Meanwhile, his logo, a blindfolded dog smelling a cup of coffee, hangs on the wall. These are the remnants of a closed coffee business. Gerry might have learned how to roast, but he wasn't able to keep a cafe afloat financially. And just a few months ago, Gerry locked the doors of the Unseen Bean Cafe for the last time.
January came around and I was looking at the books and we were, hadn't cleared more than $200 in a week or two. And I just said, I can't keep this going. I'm just gathering debt.
Gerry is starting from scratch all over again. Now, most 67-year-olds would be winding down from the workplace. But Gerry doesn't have that luxury. And the reason comes down to his disability. Before coffee, he worked as a car mechanic for 30 years.
They were afraid that, we can't put you on the books because we can't get coverage for you as a blind guy for insurance. And they were afraid of liability most of the time.
And that's one of the reasons why you haven't got much of a nest egg.
Yep. No, I used that all up in the coffee shop. That's why I closed it.
Learn more.
Kind of ran to zero.
Your life savings.
Yep. That's all right.
After the last episode, maybe you thought there's nothing left to say about Gerry and coffee. Well, coffee is so much more than turning green beans brown, because coffee is social media, psychology, marketing, trust. So this episode explores the coffee world from Gerry's perspective. I'm James Harper, and this is Filter Stories, the untold stories hidden in your cup of coffee. Gerry and I sit down, enjoying a cup of his roasted coffee.
Probably fourth or fifth for the day.
I get round, sweet flavors. It's the kind of coffee I could drink all day. Try and get the most out of it.
There's pieces of business that, as a blind guy, I haven't done a good job of adapting to. Mm-hmm. And the administrative side is one of them.
Gerry struggles as a blind coffee shop owner because he can't read invoices, write contracts, or even count paper money.
Oh, yeah. And for me, one of the things that I learned is that the only way that I can even keep up is to define and delegate all that work to other people.
Gerry tells me the story of an employee that I'm going to keep anonymous because their version of events is different to Gerry's. But it illustrates why Gerry can sometimes struggle with trust. So Gerry has an employee. They look after the books, they handle invoices, read letters. And at one point, Gerry promotes them to run the coffee shop. Gerry's management policy is simple.
Just tell me what you want to do before you do it. That's the rule. I have to approve what you want to do. Mm-hmm. You make your mind up what you want to do, get your plans right, but you just tell me. And, if I disagree, we'll talk it through and we'll work something that we both like.
And under this arrangement, Gerry is happy with how the cafe is going.
We were chipping away at my debt, and I said, as soon as we get out of debt, let's open another restaurant, and then you can either have the new one or this one. I'll just give it to you.
Years go by, and then, inevitably, this employee gets itchy feet. They want to move up, but there's nowhere else to go in Gerry's business. So they decide to start their own business. And they plan to use Gerry's roasted coffee and Gerry himself as a persona in their branding. The details get complicated, and Gerry isn't able to fully participate in this world of written business plans, branding alignment, website design. Gerry is trusting this employee has his interests at heart. But then, one day,
one of my coffee clients comes up to me and slaps a piece of paper down on the counter and says, "What the hell is this?" And I said, "Well, it's paper." He says, "Well, but yeah, but what are you doing with it? What?" And I said, "I don't know. You have to tell me. It's print." "What the hell are you doing shoving a contract at me? I've been buying coffee from you for 10 years. Isn't that good enough?" And I said, "Well, wait a minute. I didn't put any contract out there." And he said, "Well, then listen to this." And he reads this contract that says that he's buying coffee from us for X amount of dollars per
Gerry
pound.
begins to think this employee doesn't have his interests at heart anymore. And whether or not Gerry is right, the fact he's blind makes it hard for him to recover that trust. He can't see the website landing page, the financial projections, the fine print. And as soon as he loses trust, he gets him in a room.
And I said, "Look, it's time to go."
Once this employee left, Gerry's cafe slowly fell apart.
Why did the business close ultimately?
Because we just weren't getting enough business. We were down to a couple $100 a day,
Right.
which was barely enough to pay the staff, let alone pay for supplies.
Not enough people walked through the door. Why not? To look for clues, I hop on Yelp and I read some customer reviews of the Unseen Bean Cafe. And one of them jumps out at me. In summary, if you just want a cup of tasty coffee to go, this is your place. If you want an experience, check out one of the dozens of other Boulder coffee spots. This gives me an idea.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
You're
so
okay.
sorry.
Don't even worry.
We're on the streets of downtown Boulder. We're here to explore how Gerry's cafe experience differs from ours.
Happy Sunday.
Thank you.
Let's become Gerry for a few minutes. We're going to walk into a new cafe, into your competition.
In here? That's us. Okay, let's find inside. Look up the door. That's a good girl.
With these sounds, try to figure out what type of cafe this is. Think about the type of customer. What coffees are on offer?
Thank you.
Shall I find the seat, Gerry?
Sure. Which way do we go?
Give me a second. Look.
We visit the bathroom.
See a restroom looking out.
Nothing restaurant here, yeah.
Gerry then orders a sandwich.
Oh, I'm thinking about getting something to eat.
Aha.
Okay.
I have a turkey sandwich.
Uh-huh.
I have a ham sandwich. And let
Okay.
me know if you want full descriptions of something
Yeah, that's I will.
fancy.
And then he pays for the sandwich.
Excellent. All right, so your sandwich there is $10.78.
Wow.
Machine
For
here.
this?
It's well, we get the bread from the Mediterranean restaurant. Or these sandwiches.
Oh, no, I'm not doubting that. I don't eat out very much.
Gotcha.
So,
We sit down, order a coffee, and then I ask Gerry to talk about his experience.
I want you to describe your experience.
well, my experience is it's been a good one. The coffee isn't the type that I would enjoy the most, but it's good. I thought the sandwich was way overpriced, but the people are very nice. The servers, the cashiers, all the people that work here have been very, very nice. That part's been very pleasant.
In a nutshell, for Gerry, the most important aspects have been the flavor of the coffee, the price, and the service. Now, let's contrast this with the experience of sighted coffee drinkers.
Let me introduce you to Kat.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Gerry.
Nice
And to
meet
do
you.
this, I invite along some coffee friends of mine.
And this is my friend Sam over here.
Hey, how are you?
I asked them to describe their experience.
Seeing, so I described this space as trendy and like upper class, like it feels like a wealthy space. Like with all of the artisan cheeses, and even you mentioned it when you came in. Your sandwich was $11.
Talk to me about the coffee.
The coffee, yeah.
That's in the coffee apparatus.
Yeah, I talked about that too, about how the equipment that's behind the bar that they're making coffee on looks quality. Like even if you didn't drink the coffee, you would assume that the coffee being made behind the bar was high quality because of the machines that they have, and especially like on the bar that it is. It all looks very high quality.
Interesting. That is very different than what I thought.
Sure.
What did you think, Gerry?
I don't know that I would have a good perception of high class as far as decor. I might as to how people acted and what they said in their grammar.
But then Gerry reveals something that he picked up on that we didn't.
To you. Sure. I mean, I know they had a fancier espresso machine because it's solenoid operated instead of with a twist valve.
How did you know solenoid operated?
Because when I would hear the steamers run, they would click on and off instead of fade in and out.
I look at Kat and Sam. Their eyes are wide open.
I got some reactions, some facial reactions out of you here.
It's impressive. I would never notice that. Yeah.
And what's also interesting is Gerry's interpretation of this information.
But to me, that doesn't mean anything. It just means they spent a lot of money on an espresso machine.
It's here that I realize that blindness impacts Gerry more deeply than not being able to see objects in colors. Specialty coffee is a luxurious experience. Compared to regular coffee, specialty coffee has fancier packaging, rarer flavors, costs more money. And nothing screams specialty coffee like the 2-foot-high, $2,000 coffee grinder a few feet in front of Gerry's nose. This is the EK43.
An interesting thing actually about specialty coffee is you'll find a lot of baristas even have this grinder tattooed on their body. It's that ubiquitous with specialty coffee.
If you've been to a fancy coffee shop, you've definitely seen the EK43. It's made of black metal and looks like it belongs on the set of Star Wars. Despite this thing defining specialty coffee, Gerry has no idea what we're talking about.
Gerry, have you seen do you know what an EK43 feels like, looks like?
An EK43, how much will the hopper hold?
You can get the one that they have on here is I think 5 pounds.
Oh, wow. See, I've got the same birds in the Guatemala as this does.
Blindness makes it difficult for Gerry to appreciate why specialty coffee is so popular. Our little group then discusses how visuals impact our appreciation of coffee.
But I wonder if we package two coffees differently, like not with no packaging, but if we put two different like packaging options out there with the same coffee, what would be people's experience?
They'll taste different.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That was always hard for me to get.
Yeah, I suppose.
And I had to realize that I'm not affected by that.
Right. Yeah, you have the taste advantage of not being influenced by something that most people are supremely influenced by.
So what does a lighter roasted specialty espresso taste like to a man who's never seen the trendy visuals?
All right, you guys. I don't think I can drink it, but smell it.
Why not?
Smell it.
It's very sweet. There's a good amount of florality to it.
No, it's not well developed. See, in this coffee, I don't get the sweetness. Too acidic. And too bitter. I get a way bitter aftertaste. I could make that coffee taste like chocolate.
Even if Gerry is right, you know, that these lighter roasted specialty coffee espressos are unbearably acidic, as a blind person, he's in the minority. And as long as we sighted people eat with our eyes, he's going to stay in the minority. And eating with our eyes goes beyond the cafe. Some of us spend almost as much time looking at pictures of latte art on Instagram than actually sipping it. And social media is another concept that Gerry hasn't quite grasped.
What is your social media experience? What is it like for you going through Facebook?
Boring. I don't spend much time in it.
Back button. Trident Booksellers in Cafe. Heading. Trident Booksellers in Cafe. Search field. Share button. Page info and ads button. Profile photo.
This is Gerry's experience of Facebook.
Bookstore. Learn more button. Message button. More button. Christine.
He's on the Facebook page of a local cafe, trying to understand what's on the menu. When are they open? The address?
1 of 6. About. Tab. 2 of 6. Photos.
This goes on for a minute.
Share. See all. Videos. Video.
2 minutes.
Happy springtime from the Trident and Friends. Lemon. Cherry blossom.
Gerry begins nodding
2 days
gently.
ago, 145 views. Video. 0.
His phone starts slipping out of his hand
75 views. Video. 55%.
and hits my microphone.
You fell asleep?
Yeah. That's what my phone does to me.
You were holding that phone for 3 minutes, and that's a social media experience that I see within 10 seconds. And for you, it took 3 minutes, and then you fell asleep just trying to get to the bottom of it all.
Yep.
When Gerry bought the cafe in 2007, specialty coffee was seeping into Boulder's high streets. And as Boulder fell in love with this new luxurious coffee experience, Gerry was left in the dark. He struggled to offer a competitive coffee experience, both in the cafe and online on social media. And he struggled to get the help he needed from sighted employees. The Boulder community voted with their wallets and chose not to go into Gerry's cafe anymore.
What is failure? The piece of my business that failed was the finances. I did put good coffee out. I didn't fail at that. At least that's what everyone said. Gosh, I kept it going for 11 years. So, there's parts that I didn't do correctly and there's parts that didn't work well. And so there's failure in that sense, but I wouldn't have failed if I didn't try. And that's why I say I may do a coffee shop again if I teach myself enough about how to get the right people going again. I'll give it a whirl.
Growth and expansion in our Colorado may have pushed a small business owner to his financial limit.
The good news is that the community has stepped in to help.
After the community heard about the unseen bean on Denver 7, this is how you responded.
Running a small business.
A local TV station shone a spotlight on Gerry's financial difficulties in August 2018. And then a local beer company and local charities raised money to get Gerry back on his feet.
And we are hoping to raise at least like $10,000 for this give.
And until today,
wow,
Gerry didn't know that number.
Wow.
The community ended up raising $18,642.
The more the unseen bean and the man behind it can get back on track.
Gerry paid off lots of debt, bought some fresh green coffee, and is now roasting more and more every week.
The feeling that I have is so wonderful, I don't know how to express it. And it's excellent beer.
Gerry also has new branding and social media help. You can find him on Instagram at Unseen Bean Coffee. Thank you for listening to part 2. So, next time on Filter Stories, I'm going to bring you 3 episodes where we're going to go deep into El Salvador. I spent almost a month in the country trying to figure out where our coffee actually comes from. And I discovered social issues that roasters never told me about, and I'm pretty sure they don't want you to know about it either. Also, the next Filter Stories Kickstarter is going to launch the day the next episode drops. This will be a chance to taste an exceptional coffee with an exceptional story. If you missed the last one and you want to get on board this time, subscribe to the Filter Stories email newsletter. There's a link in the episode description, or follow me on Instagram at Filter Stories Podcast. So many people have asked, hey, where does your piano music come from? And I'm happy to say that it is yours truly. I've been playing piano and composing music for about 2 decades. If you want to listen to more of this piano music, I actually put the piano credits of the Firefly episode in the music edition of Coffee People Zine. This is a magazine put together by Cat Melheim. This is the same cat from the episode you just heard. There's a link to the piano music track on the website, filterstories.org, and in the episode description. And by the way, if you own a cafe, get Coffee People Zine on your shelves. It's a celebration of all the talents coffee people have over and above making great coffee. This episode was sound engineered and mixed by Dom Edgley, a Berlin-based sound professional. You can get him at domedgleysound.com. And the Filter Stories logo was created by Headquarters, a branding and packaging design team. You can find more of their work at headquarters.studio. Okay, until next time.
Sit down. There you go. Woofy. You're a woof. You're a woof. That's right, you're a big old woof. A woof, 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 woof.